We've got our toilet valve in. We've got our delivery pipe in, which is a through connection that's sealed. And we've got it to a garden hose. That's going to be our supply, which is the stand, keeps that out of the ground. This, what I'm doing is 3/4 inch thread, so that's 3/4 inch female thread, 3/4 inch on the inside. Currently I'm working on an idea that's going to utilize a 2-liter bottle and the cap. I'm going to glue the cap down in here and cut the 2-liter bottle off somewhere in this neighborhood as my cup. I think it's big around enough that my chickens can get in it, and it's deep enough that I think that they can drink it until I get the valve to turn back on. I glued the cap with caulk into this 1-inch fitting, and it's loose. It doesn't even, it wants to, it's loose. So I'm gonna try some, I'm gonna try some liquid nail and see if I can get a little bit better adhesion. The top was the top of the tube was compromised, so I'm going to go ahead and try to salvage it. I'm going to try to get it down there on the bottom where it needs to be. I'm not super worried about the amount because I know that I put too much, but I just want to make sure that when I get this thing in there, it's going to be seated permanently. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do another seal like I did in the bucket. So again, once this stuff dries, it'll be fine. It's not going to hurt the chickens. It's if it's wet and got all that glue and stuff. Alright, so again, I'm going to try to pull as much as I can out of there. And I already know that some of it's going to be in there, but at least if I can pull some of it out, that's that much less that I have to worry about working around. And I guess I can forget about this tube of liquid nail, but that's okay. I didn't have to throw it away. Got one more use out of it, and I think I've got a place I need it near the house, and I'll try to use the rest of it. So we'll see how this does. I put caulk and I waited 4 days, so hopefully this will get glued in there and it won't move when I put my bottle in. If I put my bottle in and twist it tight, and I twist it tight and it moves, then it's not going to work. So I'm going to let that sit a day or two. Okay, so if you remember from the last video where we left off was a 3/4 inch female thread. I used liquid nail to glue in the top of the 2-liter bottle. the caulk that I used didn't work out. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drill a hole in here. I'm going to drill from this way to this way. I'm going to use a regular drill bit instead of a paddle bit. One of the things with this project is you can experiment either with parts you have laying around or other avenues. You don't have to stick with one thing. I'm going to go ahead and drill into it now. Again, I'm using a 1/2 inch drill bit, just a regular drill bit instead of a paddle bit like I used last time. I just want a nice clean hole. I don't think it likes drilling through that. Now that's a pretty good looking hole right there. You can waller that out all the way, but I don't know that it's necessary. Water's going to travel through it. It's not going to block anything up. So, okay, so now that we got our hole, basically we're gonna, the one option, the one that I'm moving forward on is I'm gonna go ahead and angle it up with a 90 with 3/4 inch thread. This was a 3/4 inch male thread to a 1 inch slip. My 2-liter bottle. Nice and fit nice and snug. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut it wherever I want. I know that I've only got about a 3 inch or so spread, so there may be enough in there, but I want to leave a little room in the bottom because sand, especially where I'm at in Southwest Florida, sand gets in here because there's just sand everywhere. It's not really dirty, if you will, but it is sand, and that's why I make this serviceable, because after a while this needs to be changed. Okay, I did a little research, and my current automatic chicken waterer bowl, the top of the bowl is 6 inches from the top of the bucket. So it's going to be somewhere in this neighborhood, right where this line is. So I think that might be a good place to cut it. Now keep in mind, it's also only 9 inches from the ground. So I've got my bucket, here's 9 inches. So I've got my bucket in the dirt a little bit. And one of the things I can recommend to you is to put this in a predicament where the chickens can't roost, or they will be pooping on here, because wherever they can get up on top of, they will, and they'll make it dirty. So this is in a situation, or will be in a situation, where they won't be able to roost. I'll put it under something, or I'll put it around something, I'll put it inside of something so they can't get up here. That will keep it going for a longer time. Now it's just a matter of cutting it. This is not the sharpest razor blade, but you can cut it with scissors. Cut it with a box cutter. This is just a razor blade. Probably would advise to get a better cutting method. But one thing's for sure, is not going to cut your chickens. So there it is. Time to test it.